Hang on. That's the wrong music.
I was born on a Dublin street where the royaldoms did beat, and the loving English feet they walked all over us. And every single night when me dad would come home tired, he'd invite the neighbors out with this chorus. Come out, ya black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra. Come and let us hear you tell how you slandered great Parnell when you thought him well and truly persecuted. Where are the sneers and jeers that you loudly let us hear when our leaders of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra. Come tell us how you slew them old Arabs 2 by 2, like the Zulus they had spears and bows and arrows. How bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them damn natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra. Now the time is coming fast, and I think them days are here when each English yarding he'll run before us. And if there'll be a need, then our kids will sing Godspeed with a verse or two of singing this fine chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra.
Good morning to you, laddies. It's me, Distortion Devil. Welcome to me Feckin stream. Top of the fucking evening to you.
That's the gamer's choice.
That'd be the gamer's choice right there. How you bloody doing, lads and lasses? Now, as you can plainly see, we're going to be getting into some King of the Castle. We're going to be continuing our Twitch dynasty. Monarch Azul, what overthrew me and me fish husband during the last game. Waiting for me nobles to file on in here. Alright. Got a slight disadvantage here, but you can join in during the meantime. Let's begin again, shall we? Holy Moses, look at the stats. Your Majesty, the history books do not look kindly upon usurpers, unless, of course, they prove themselves worthy of the throne they have stolen. When you die, how do you hope the king will remember you? Let's see. Conqueror. You know what? This is looking pretty good for me right now. I want to be known as the architect of a new golden age. A lofty goal indeed. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall trade as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. The ninth has smiled upon us, and our plans have come to fruition. Verily, there is much to celebrate. Now remember your duty. You must ensure that the Grandee's interests are enforced throughout the kingdom. What if I governed for the good of the whole... What if I governed for the good of the whole kingdom? You gave me your word that you would serve our interests. To break that promise would be most dishonorable. Now introduce yourself to the rest of the council, but don't forget what I told you today. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Highness. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. Scale of 1 to shit-faced. How drunk am I right now? Not nearly enough. We're gonna fix that, though. A pleasure, Your Serene Highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy in your reign. But not for long. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices. Meanwhile, what do you think? Will they be a good little monarch and do as they're told? Too early to tell, but I have a bad feeling. We should have a backup plan just in case. Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from King Connor, but you still answer to the council. As is tradition, they will decide what happens at your coronation. Should I get changed into me waterproof robes, then? It may be for the best, Your Majesty. Should we call in the nobles? Alright, chat. Have at it, you crazy kids. It is tradition. It is tradition. This much we know. Alright, I think that's most everybody. Throw the monarch into the river. It is decided. The monarch will be thrown into the river. And so it begins. The nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Treadwater River, hurling you into the shallow water with a cheer. When you climb back up the banks, soaking wet, the Chancellor steps forward and places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination, or some of the nobles' stifling giggles? Fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false monarch Azul wears the crown. Do you want to go for subterfuge, intimidation, or a blood ritual? Gotta vote for lower stability, highest farming. And it looks like the counts have gone for lower stability. Subterfuge. The counts plan to replace the monarch's advisors with their own agents. First, they must prove that they're doing a bad job. To advance their scheme, the counts must lower stability to 4 in 3 seasons, and 4 or less in 3 seasons. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of Monarch Azul. Something must be done. Doppelganger, lowest defiance. Monopoly, raise own trade. Or corruption, lower authority. Well, looks like we've got votes for corruption or monopoly. Can you raise a stat above 10? No, you cannot. 10 is the max. Alright, we've got 3 votes in. 4 votes in. For the patricians, I don't think it will matter much now. I'm going to go ahead and call it in 3, 2, 1. The patricians plan to privatize this entire damned kingdom. First, they must build up their industry. To advance their scheme, the patricians must raise their trade to 5 in 4 more seasons. We may have thought that Azul was the rightful monarch, but we were wrong. The 9th god has shown me in a dream that I am destined to wear the crown. A witch hunt, highest faith, fervor, raise own farming, or excommunication, lower stability. This religion seems really fucking corrupt. I mean, you're telling me. Alright, we've got a tie here. We need one of the grandees to break this tie. Next vote cinches it.
Crazy!
Papusa Monkey, thank you for the 100 bits. Alright, patricians, we just gotta not fuck up the economy. Easy, right? Looks outside. We need a grandee in here. There's one more of you. There we go. A witch hunt. Highest faith.
There's all sorts of heresy in the capital, and the Grandees intend to expose it. First, they must ensure the South is beyond reproach. To advance their scheme, the Grandees must be the region with the highest faith in 3 or more seasons. My treacherous half-brother, Ignazio. Alright, let's see. An untimely death. It's Lord Patrician Terran 817 II. Murder! My father, Lord Patrician Terran 817, has been murdered, and I know who did it. As one join, you have to type in !join followed by your pronouns. It was Grandee Ruby Flash 15 Heart by the 9th. Don't let her deny it. I won't deny that I killed the venerable Lord Patrician Terran 817. But it was no murder. Terran 817 agreed to an honorable duel, which I won. Depths below it was no duel, it was cold-blooded killing. What reason could my father possibly have to duel you in the first place? The reason for any duel is between the challenger and the challengee, a private matter not fit for this council. I don't give a shit. Glucerius, thank you for the sub. 48 months. Well, a duel is a duel. Let the accused go free. Alright, I'll give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A duel is a duel. Let the accused go free. Oh, shit. You would let a murderer walk loose, even after she admitted it right in this council chamber? Below. I'm glad the council respects the duelist's code. Once agreed upon, a duel cannot be rescinded. Thank you for preserving our southern traditions, Your Highness. Oh, shit. Noble Patrician Sephrusson is here to see you, Your Majesty. They want to sell you a crab. A what? It's the latest trend along the coast, Your Majesty. The patricians have started keeping species of jeweled crab as fashionable pets. The creatures are so rare that one can now sell for as much as a mansion. Uh-huh. Well, very well. Send them in. Noble Patrician Sephrusson. Thank you for seeing me, Your Majesty. I know the price is steep, but I assure you, these crabs will only go up in value. They're crab NFTs. What a waste of everyone's time. I'll make the sale of jeweled crabs illegal. Yeah. And I'm going to ban the sale of these NFCs, these non-fungible crustaceans. What a waste of everyone's time. I'll make the sale of jeweled crabs illegal. Of course, such a drastic measure will require a vote. You summon your council at once. Oh shit. I like how it's just a net negative for me. Now that the sale of crabs is illegal, the pinchy little creatures are more valuable than ever. Gangs of crab smugglers. Jesus Christ! Oh my god. Gangs of crab smugglers spring up around the coast, murdering each other over profitable reefs. Thousands of fishermen start hunting crabs instead of fish that sustain the coastal diet. Well, alright then. As is tradition, each region offers a selection of elite guards. The counts with the Knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose, the patrician with the champion gladiators from the arena, and the grandees offer the fiercest battle nuns from the Sisterhood of Steel. Think carefully, Your Majesty, these guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Tell me about the coastal gladiators. A gang of low-born crooks who've turned themselves into celebrities through skill at chopping other people into bits. They're vain and selfish. Their skill in battle is undeniable. Can you trust them? I've made my decision. I'll take the coastal gladiators. By the 9th, Your Majesty, why would you choose Jesus Christ? The gladiators arrive a few weeks later. The men are bare-chested and the women are underdressed, eager to show off their bodies as much as their weaponry. They gather behind your throne and begin oiling themselves up. Ooh. Alright, now it's time to start an auction. All you have to do is type !fund, and then the letter of the thing you want to fund, and then how much money you're willing to put forth for it. Have fun, everyone! Alright, it looks like a prison and a library. It looks like the patricians are trying to get the stability back up. And time. Nothing changed, literally. One or more regions is on the verge of rebellion, as their defiant status higher than both the authority and stability. If the rebels get more victory points than the loyalists, they'll win the game. If the loyalists get more victory points than the rebels, they'll put down the rebellion and continue the game. If multiple regions rebel and win, a vote between the two rebelling regions with the highest stats will determine the successor. Important: rebelling regions have their schemes paused. Regions with high military stats are more likely to overthrow the monarch with a rebellion. If stability, authority, or treasury hit 0, the rebels will win the civil war. So the patricians can rebel right now. But who knows if that's a good idea? Oh, a dynasty event. Stop the presses. Your August Majesty, some anonymous firebrand on the coast is spreading most inflammatory pamphlets. They're casting aspirations against you.
You worship me, mortal.
They're casting aspersions against you. You don't know your color or if you even joined? You're in the patricians. Yeah, if you're on mobile, then unfortunately you're a little bit out of luck. Why do the patricians have so many more people than the others? The poor counts. What's new? Something's different this time. They're not just calling you a bad monarch, they're criticizing the very concept of monarchy. This is republicanism, and not in Kurth, but our very own kingdom. What should we do? Well... I'm gonna fart. I'll fart, and I'll fart. Pretty much all of the counts have voted to kill anyone carrying a pamphlet on the spot. Well, it's a tight race between B and D. I'll give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow the pamphlets to circulate. But we must do something. You expect us to let the common folk attack the very foundations of our society? Thanks to your permissive attitude, the coast quickly becomes a haven for radical thought. Intellectuals travel from across the Celeste Ath to debate politics and philosophy. Conversation, wine, and money flow in equal measure. For the first time, people across the kingdom now seriously contemplate the idea of a republic. But for now, it remains a fringe faction of rabble-rousers and radicals. That's Grandee Darky Arts. Your Majesty, we are being overrun. Not by sword and spear, mind you, but by lampreys. A particularly virulent breed of Salish sea lampreys, to be precise. They must have been introduced by a careless trader, but now they're feasting on local fish, and there's no natural predators to stop them. The council must do something. Oh, shit. All right. I'll be right back, chat. I'm gonna go grab myself another beer. Have at it. I'm sure nothing weird happened. Yeah. All right, well, there's a tie here.
That's the gamer's choice.
That is a gamer's choice. What are you funding, Thunder Splits? There's nothing to fund. There we go. We got a tiebreaker. Introduce a new species of... Oh, wait a minute. Introduce a new species to prey on the lampreys. You search far and wide for a suitable predator for the lampreys before settling on a species of Salish brown trout, which you import in vast numbers. What could go wrong? Unfortunately, the scheme does little to help. The trout fail to control the already abundant lampreys, which continue to propagate. Though eventually they settle into an ecological niche and stabilize without spreading to other regions, the new balance comes at a heavy cost to the south. This is a darn it moment. Your Majesty, it's important to find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference? Men, women, or do you not mind? I don't mind.
This is a tee-hee moment.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. It's an easy enough decision. You'll marry into the grandees as we agreed before you took the throne, right? Right? End season! Let us commit taxes. And the patricians still haven't rebelled. Probably a wise idea. They get trounced immediately. Ooh! That is delicious. Wowee. That's a good beer. Ah, jeez. Crab smuggling. Greetings, Your Majesty. Ever since the sale of jeweled crabs was outlawed, crab smugglers are damn near taking over the coast. To make matters worse, the local sheriffs are so deep in the smugglers' pockets they might as well be lint. But I made the sale of crabs illegal. You did, Your Majesty. That's why I'm calling them smugglers and not legitimate businessmen. Rival smugglers are murdering each other on the beaches. It's carnage out there. Have it. Alright, it looks like for the most part, they are going to appoint a new group of trustworthy sheriffs focused solely on crab-related crime. Crab crime. Law and Order Special Crab Unit. Ba-doom, da-da-da-da-da-doom. Bleed the treasury? Yeah, everyone loses. The new Crab Squad proves a great success at arresting dozens of crab smugglers within their first month. They invite you to personally inspect their confiscated goods, proudly showing off a heap of sparkling crabs. Tall as a house, you watch solemnly as they are set on fire. The smell is delicious. Another duel gone wrong. Murder! Grandee Ruby Flash 15 has been murdered in her own home. I think you'll find, noble Grandee, that Ruby Flash 15 met her unfortunate end in a duel. Comes with the territory, I suppose. A duel? There was a knife in her back. Indeed, my opponent was facing away with a peculiar strategy. Do something, Your Majesty. This is clearly Lord Patrician Terran 817 II's unlawful vengeance for his father. Duels are very clearly unsafe and must be banned. Is what I'm thinking. Oh, even split so far. But here we go. Oh my goodness. Oh my fucking goodness. Oh, A and C are in heated combat right now. Of course, Ruby Flash wants to vote A to posthumously execute her murderer. Alright, this is pretty close. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Execute Lord Patrician Terran 817 for their obvious crime. A shame you could not muster the same sense of justice when my father was killed. No matter, I have avenged his memory. Lord Patrician Terran 817 II is stoic as the watch leads him to the gallows. You hope this is the last dueling-related death, as you vaguely recall an ancient proverb where the whole world goes blind. Shit. You want to skull? Why do you want to rebel? You'll get fucking pwned. It is not a good idea to rebel right now. I'm just telling you. I found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Yes, I know. The Chancellor leads you to the Great Hall, where they've arranged 3 cloth portraits for now. Each is covered by a cloth. All right, then, let's see the eligible candidates. Whisk away the cloth. The first portrait. This is Irvin, the eldest son of lovely Lorelei 614 dynasty. I met him at a party once, but all he did was squeak out a hello and then run off. He seemed nice enough. He bought a controlling interest in a silver mine in the East and has made a killing. Half the East are in love with him, apparently. The other half hate him. He's an intriguing candidate. From the coast, we have Eulalia, the wealthy heiress to Lord Patrician Thunderous Blitz's estate. I mean, just look at her. She's gorgeous, and apparently she's got a silver tongue, too. She's also an obsessive collector of rare books. She'll splash out thousands for the right edition. And said to be led by her passions, living in the moment with no thought for her reputation. I like the sound of her. Finally, from the south, Ernesto, the eldest heir of Brother Costal lineage. They're reputed to have an ego the size of the sun. But there's nothing wrong with confidence, right? They're an obsessive gambler, a pastime frowned upon in the south. It's been the cause of some scandal. The most common criticism of them is that they sometimes skip church. I don't like the look of them. What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. I've made my decision. Irvin of the East. Excellent. I'll make the arrangements. Good season, everyone. Far in the east, Count Harbinger Boland is hosting a dinner party in his castle with a few distinguished guests. The kingdom's fine. No one's calling for the monarch's advisors to resign. We need to step it up. More chaos. More panic. Then we can swoop in and offer the monarch an olive branch. Indeed, and if they don't want to take it, then we'll smack them with it until they give in. The Count's aim is to lower stability to 4 or less. In a picturesque castle overlooking the southern city of Calaville, 2 grandees lie back to enjoy the sun. Praise be! Whispers of our plan have reached the peasants, and they are in an uproar. They call for the sins of the monarch to be laid bare. I already have leads on information from inside the palace that we can use against the monarch. It's only a matter of time. We have the High Inquisitor on our side, but we must also sow dissent amongst other regions. We won't succeed alone. For the next stage in their scheme, Grandees must raise other regions' defiance to a combined total of 8. Oh, fuck. Monarch's golden choice. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Bankruptcy looms. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. Where the hell did it all go? I couldn't possibly say, Your Majesty. Perhaps you've been spending a little too freely. Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. You could get a bank loan or sell off the crown jewels. Perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with piles of gold, or so I've heard. I own the Royal Mint, don't I? I recall that going bad last time. Making more coins. I'll take a hefty loan from the Salvington Gall Bank. Why not? The Bank of Salvington Gall operates from the fabulously wealthy Republic of Kurth, all the way across the Western Sea. They assure you, however, that they maintain total independence from the Republic. The banker they send to take your signature has delicate hands and sharp teeth. He watches as you put pen to paper, eyes glittering. You're making an excellent decision, Your Majesty. You shall pay us back with 25% interest in 1 year. Saddling the kingdom in debt isn't great optics, but you had no other choice. The Archbishop's request. Your Majesty, I wish to speak with you about the situation in the East. The Counts have long been a matter of suspicion for those of us in the Church, but now idolatry and devil worship are commonplace across the whole region. Allow me to send some of my best missionaries to the East. It's for the good of the realm. I don't know. Alright, Counts. I'm gonna lower stability a little bit. I'm gonna lower stability a little bit for you guys, but you gotta be on my side for some of this, okay? I'm gonna count on you guys. I'm gonna count on the Counts. Won't hear any more of this. Be gone! Very well, Your Highness. As he sweeps out of the room with as much dignity as he can muster, you're sure you haven't heard the last of this. Your wedding to Irvin is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand Cathedral, with Irvin at your side. Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do. Then I pronounce you married in the eyes of the kingdom. Oh, and well, that raised it back up. Whoops. After the wedding, of course, there is a feast, and after the feast, there's a dance. Your new husband, Irvin, turns bright red every time a toast is called in his honor. By the time you find yourself alone with Irvin, it's past midnight, and you've never felt more tired. Hello? I hope you had as good of a time as I did. You too. You both lapse into strained silence. Irvin gulps back his wine. What do I say to him? He's an introvert. I can see you need some space right now. Yes, I think that would be good. Thank you. Sorry. You head to the spare bedchamber, leaving Irvin alone. He will open up to you eventually, right? Ah, jeez. My husband! In a dingy seaside tavern, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The coast's economy has never been better. We're making more money than I know what to do with. Money breeds money. I've made a series of investments to improve our profits even more. But what do we do with the rest of this gold? Time to start buying things, of course. Land, roads, bridges. We'll buy up the whole kingdom piece by piece. But first, the monarch must be in desperate need of our gold. To advance their scheme, the patricians must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 2 seasons. Rebellion report. Defiance still too high. The defiance is too damn high. Missing nobles. Your Holiness, a number of grandees have gone missing in the east. They traveled to Count Lobby Tobby's castle to negotiate a trade agreement, but they should have returned weeks ago. The grandees never even made it to my lands. They most likely got lost. The east is a dangerous place. Who's gone missing? Anyone I care about? 3 grandees are missing. Grandee Darky Arts, Grandee Vian the Griffin, and Grandee Gonman. Where could they have gone? Just north of my estate lies the Mold Patter Forest. To the west, the Twilight Lakeland, and to the south, Ilarian's Haunt. I like to live remotely. It does wonders for the soul. I'm certain this is some kind of ploy by Count Lobby Tobby. In a few months, he'll quietly offer us a ransom. Blooded stars, don't be foolish. We'll find them. We just have to decide where to focus our efforts. Oops, here I go missing again. And it looks like everyone, all the counts are settling in for the Twilight Lakeland. And all the grandees are wanting to execute Count Lobby Tobby instead. Alright, the votes are still coming in. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to search the Twilight Lakeland. A detachment of elite trackers are sent over the vast lakeland to search for Gonman and the other grandees, but they turn up nothing. Nothing to do with the missing nobles, anyway. Your Majesty, you'll never guess what we've found. It's not Grandee Gonman, but it's just as exciting, perhaps more. It's the fabled Melancholy Lake, the very same one in which Queen Sashara drowned herself after her sons were murdered. How exquisitely cultural. Yes, how wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Grandee Gonman has died, Grandee Darky Arts has died, and Grandee Vian the Griffin has died. Azul, I had something I wanted to ask of you. What can I do for you? As you surely know, I have run a very successful lumber company back home in the east. But the current laws are a little restrictive for my trade. Lots of tariffs and regulations. You know how it is. I was hoping you could push for some changes in the council. Eliminate some of the more cumbersome quality standards for eastern lumber, perhaps. You want me to give the east preferential treatment? I think it's only fair. The other regions just can't compete with us in the lumber trade. Fine, I'll assemble a council. Ah, how exquisite. I'll see you there. Shall we relax quality standards in only the eastern lumber? Shall we relax quality standards on all lumber in the kingdom? Or do nothing? We're lowering of course, all of them. Lower quality standards on all lumber in the kingdom. And excellent. The grandees, though, they're trying to get that defiance up. Oh, they're throwing their weight. The patricians need to wake up. They have some of the most people out here. Not that I think it matters, but I'm going to give it... I'll give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax quality standards on all lumber in the kingdom. I see. I've underestimated my enemies on the council. That's unfortunate. What? Wait. Oh. They went up? They went up. I think. Yes. The relaxation on standards all across the kingdom has resulted in lower production costs and boosting economies of all regions. Unfortunately, it also leads to a lot of collapsed buildings and unavoidable accidents. Shit! The chief architect bustles into your office carrying an armful of parchment. Statues can be torn down. Paintings can be burned. Don't you think it's time you left a lasting mark on this kingdom? I propose we carve your majesty's visions into the side of a mountain. It will take dozens of artisans and thousands of hours, but I will ensure you're always remembered. Does sound pleasing. Glad you think so, your majesty. It'll be the talk of the kingdom and beyond. You call a vote to discuss this outrageous plan. A mountainside carved in your likeness is sure to get people talking, but it'll take a lot of time and a lot of gold. Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you vote for D, you get 500 gold. $500 gold for your personal wealth if you vote for D. Let's go. It's 500 gold. Your personal wealth. 500. Think of all the stuff you can buy. A lot of people still haven't voted. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The idea is best left forgotten. When the results of the vote are announced, the chief architect sighs in disappointment. Oh well, suppose I'll have to focus my work elsewhere. He decides to train up an enterprising architects and builders across the kingdom, sharing his knowledge. Many of the nobles make use of his new expertise to renovate their estates. We are flourishing, Chad. The kingdom is in... Oh, it's Zen! There she is! The kingdom's in great jeopardy, and the council is calling for the monarch's inner circle to resign. We need to increase the pressure. If the monarch's in a weak enough position, I got no choice but to bow to our demands. No more interfering spymaster, no more marshal or chancellor or treasurer, a whole new inner circle made up entirely of counts. For the next stage of their scheme, the counts must lower authority to 4 or less in 3 seasons. And see, look at all that gold you've got now for your auctions. All right. Get it on. All right, it's looking like they want a prison. I don't know why they're trying to lower stability even more. But a lot of people are going for the prison. And the grandees are trying to cock block the counts on this one. Oh, but the library getting funded. The stadium, same as well. The counts trying to lower their own military for some reason. But the library keeps getting more funds. We've got some more in the monument. Will it be enough? Authority is raised to 5. Looks like we've got a stadium and a monument. I think the patricians are trying to slowly lower the military of the other factions here. Perhaps they're trying to scratch the itch of the rebellion here. They are still far weaker than the loyalist factions. Witch hunt, witch hunt. I've gathered some reports from the south. The grandees are among the regions scheming against you. Scheming? That's not very holy of them. On the contrary, they believe it's their divine duty. They're smearing you as an impious, unholy monarch. They have inquisitors bringing up evidence as we speak. I should go to church more. Oh, that won't help. You could be the holiest saint in the kingdom and they'd find an excuse to call you a sinner. I suggest you strengthen your relationship with the other regions. You'll want them on your side once the grandees increase the pressure. Sadly, our popularity with the nobles leaves something to be desired. They're likely working with the inquisitors already, providing them with damning information. We must put a stop to this. Should we leave the Inquisitors to their business, bury the Inquisitors under a mountain of false accusations, or restrict the Inquisitors' power throughout the kingdom? You decide. Of course, the grandees want to leave the Inquisitor to their own devices. It looks like B is in favor right now, but C is slowly gaining traction. The grandees are wanting to leave the Inquisitors to their business. Laney Bador, thank you for rating with a party of 60. Guys, we're playing King of the Castle. If you want to join in, type in !join, followed by your pronouns. He, she, or they. And then you can join in on the wild, wacky world of King of the Castle. Thank you so much, Laney, for the raid. Hope your stream went well. I'm currently enjoying some beers for St. Patty's Day. On top of the Feckin evening to you, laddie. Within days, non-grandee nobles flood the Inquisitors with tips on each other for every possible sin. Eating veal on Sundays, buying a crossbow made with the wrong type of wood, wearing trousers backwards, wearing trousers forwards. It's an effective stalling tactic. For now. The grandee's stat goal will not be evaluated until the end of next season. That buys us some time. A melancholy tale. The Melancholy Lake. That lake we discovered is beyond all doubt the final resting place of Queen Shashara the Melancholy. She drowned herself after your ancestor, Queen Arald the Great, killed her sons. This is a very important cultural discovery. You understand, pilgrims have already turned up from across the east. A number of poems have been composed. I thought you might want to get involved, perhaps spare some of your treasury to fund some cultural events. I'm sure your husband would love the idea. I like this one. Let's hold a festival and a poetry competition. And everyone who chooses B gets 500 personal wealth. 500. Make sure if you're voting, chat, type in !join and then your pronouns, because you won't be on the list. Well, I think that is squarely in the favor of B there. Great idea, Your Majesty. I'll have my peasants put up the bunting. Barely a few weeks later, you're arriving at the Melancholy Lake for a weekend of very Eastern festivities, including silent singing, solemn staring, competitive grieving, and, of course, poetry grieving. Competitive grieving. So Facebook? Oh my god. Yo, who wants to join my esports org? We don't play League of Legends, we don't play Valorant, we don't play CSGO. We do competitive grieving. No one minds that the group of grandees went missing here just a few months ago. I should go. I think I left the kettle on the stove. You slink back home at the earliest opportunity after cutting the ribbon, of course. Despite your absence, the festival is a great success for the Counts, bringing up travelers and money from across the region. Oh my god, you guys are being such sports about the whole me wanting trade thing. Thank you so much. About my hair? Your marriage to Irvin is not what you'd hoped. He seldom sleeps in your bed, and over breakfast you exchange only a few frosty words before he departs to a board meeting. The last thing on your mind is procuring an heir, but the needs of the kingdom must prevail. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. But something's missing. You need an heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick. Even if they're a bastard, or the youngest of your many cousins. I don't even know. I don't think this is gonna work. I'll make my youngest cousin my heir. Of course, an entirely sensible idea. I'll make arrangements at once. Sitting on a bench outside of a sun-bleached villa, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The thrice-cursed monarch is still refusing to sell us any public land. It makes sense. The treasury's flush with coin right now. Patience, my friend. Let's bide our time until the monarch's gold runs out. The patrician's aim is to lower the treasury to 1,500 or less. Wow! Great idea, everybody! Let us go for fucking taxing the grandees. Thank you so much. This will be excellent when the bank comes back. Terrific idea, my lord. Bap, bap, bap. Whoa! Look at all this. It's all in the south. Disquiet in the south? They kept us waiting for a bubble? Your Highness, my peasants accuse me of hoarding wealth. Me? Worse, they're throwing down their tools and burning their belongings, saying they want to live an ascetic life, and that I should do the same. They want to have more exercise? No, not athletic, ascetic. They don't want to be pinned down by worldly possessions, but burning them is quite the overreaction. The ringleader of the movement is the philosopher called Ortega. She calls herself a voice of the ninth god, and the peasants hang on her every word. They'll be at my door any moment. Herm, 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 herm. I don't give a shit. Send someone to infiltrate the cult, or fire the troublemakers and hire new servants from the east. Oh, C is leading so far, but we've got some votes funneling in for A. What could possibly go wrong? All right, it's looking pretty definitive here. I'm going to give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire the troublemakers and hire new servants from the east. Counts welcome the extra cash for use of their peasants. See, Counts, I got your back. Meanwhile, more and more southern servants discard their possessions and follow Ortega's teachings. A city in flames! Your Holiness, there's been a terrible fire in the city of Aranjar. Where once there were dozens of buildings, there is now a field of smoldering ash. Dozens of peasants have died. What caused this fire? Some soldiers stationed in the city got drunk and were fooling around. They tied a burning stick to a cow's tail as a prank, but the beast went mad and ran through the city, setting hundreds of fires. Well, I'm sorry to hear your city's gone up in flames. I was hoping the city council might unlock some funds from the treasury so we could rebuild. Hey, you know what? This one's looking pretty poggly to me. We gotta find and punish the soldiers responsible. This one's looking quite pogly. Of course, the patricians want to bankrupt me. All right, I'll give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find and punish the soldiers responsible. The offending soldiers are arrested and beheaded amid the ashes of Erenjar. The townsfolk celebrate that justice has been done. However, dozens of the South soldiers desert over the next few weeks. The cow-bothering arsonists were popular among the troops, and their punishment has caused ripples of discontent. Meanwhile, the grandees who bear the cost of rebuilding grumble that money could have been more appreciated than your ham-fisted attempt at justice. Gods above, what is the point of having a monarch in the first place? Grandee Brother Costal strides into the council chambers, distraught and waving a dead rat by its tail. The fields and barns of the south are overrun by vermin, and we've no more poison for these horrible things. We can't cope anymore. You know what? Let's just see what happens. And, of course, the patricians immediately go towards the most expensive option for me. Deliver a supply of rat poison with a 30% chance of success. Alright, chat. Gonna give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deliver a supply of rat poison. Let's see if this even helps. You send barrels of poison to the south. They're closely guarded, but during the night, one of the barrels goes missing. Word gets out, rumors erupt. Who stole the barrel? Is it an assassination plot? Is the monarch poisoning the citizens of the south? Was the rat infestation a cover story all along? The rats die off, but the unrest remains. The missing poison is never found. Well, shit. Deep in the south, in the back garden of a sun-bleached villa, a number of grandees crowd around a figure, raising their arms in a toast. Here's to the future King Ignazio, and the golden age on the horizon. May the ninth god strike down the false monarch for their wickedness. Soon the Inquisition will be complete, and the Archbishop will crown our claimant. What shall we be done with the monarch? Burn them at the stake, or lower authority? Well, I have a feeling I know what's going to win here. Yep. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Ooh-hoo. Burn them at the stake, of course. A glorious way to usher in the new king. The ninth god will surely be pleased. First, the current monarch's grip on the kingdom must be in an all-time low. We wouldn't want to face any backlash from our fireworks show, would we? For the final stage of their scheme, the grandees must lower stability to 2 or less. Alright, chat. There's now a vested interest. There's now a vested interest in stopping the Grandees. They're at the final stage of their scheme. On the plus side, I'm with my fish husband. That is true. Ah, shit. Debt collection. Greetings, Your Majesty. I am here on behalf of the Salvant and Gal to collect what we are owed. And delightful to see you. You owe us a grand total of 3,750 gold. Can I extend the terms of my loan? We'll be waiting for you to grant... willing to grant you another year at the same rate in exchange for a 20% down payment of 750 gold. Fine, here you go. We will be back in 1 year for the rest. I'm not going to pay that.
This is a retro moment.
Just getting him off my back for another year. A prediction. An investigation.
This is a tee-hee moment.
Your Majesty, excellent news from beyond the sky. As your grace knows, I'm an amateur astronomer. I have seen that a solar eclipse is on its way, visible from the east. You must encourage the kingdom to gather beneath the dark sun and experience this once-in-a-lifetime event. By the ninth, nay! An eclipse is a warning from the ninth god, a sign that the kingdom has fallen into shadow. All the nobles start talking at once. Some are excited, some are horrified, but all are very loud. And you know it would be really fucking funny if we encourage visitors to the east who have witnessed the event. I think that would be a fucking hilarious thing to do. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna go get a drink. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like that. By the ninth, you shouldn't be encouraging this nonsense. As word gets out about the impending solar event, visitors from across the kingdom drift over to the east. Ah, look. Look at all that. Look at all that trade. There's a problem with the followers of that southerner, Ortega. Her teachings have spread to the east. Worse, she's getting stronger, performing miracles, healing a woman's broken arm with a single touch, curing an old man's blindness. All over the east, the peasants are throwing away their goods and cursing the counts for their greed. They're clashing with the priests, even starting brawls in the streets. Every day we lose more workers to this cult. Every day we lose more workers to this cult. Looks like we're banking on a 60% roll here. Wow, that is delicious. Juice Drop Hazy IPA from Feckin Ridge Brewery. Not bad. All right, folks. It's a 60% shot. Better than half. Let's see what happens. If Ortega is performing miracles, she must be recognized as an official member of the church. Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah, baby! Oh, yeah! You see that, eh? Leave it to Ortega. After a week, the Archbishop reluctantly issues a proclamation stating that Ortega and her cult is a legitimate branch of the Church of the Ninth God. Her followers are delighted. Sexcellent. In the darkest depths of an eastern forest, Count Harbinger Boland has gathered his fellow plotters around a mossy stone obelisk. The council demanded a shakeup, but the monarch resists all calls to replace their advisors. A great shame. There's little that we can do while the monarch's position is so powerful. The count's aim is to lower authority to 4 or less. Yeah. And the Grandies are currently in the best position to win the game right now. Can't believe the patricians have been at above 8 defiance this entire time. But they haven't been able to do anything about it. Oh my goodness, it's Brachyzoid. Thank you for rating with a party of 48. How's it going? How'd everything go over at Brachy's stream? Hope you all had a wonderful time, a wonderful evening over at the one, the only Brachyzoid, twitch.tv. And happy St. Patrick's Day to you fuckers. I'm over here, I'm celebrating with a few beers myself. Had a Guinness, a couple of other beers.
Crazy!
Thank you for the 500 bits, Apollyon. I've got an alcohol infuser here. If you've ever seen Doka Ryan, It's sort of what he does, but it's more like... It's less chaotic. I've got some vodka that's sitting in a solution containing cardamom, candied ginger, and apples. It's interesting stuff. It smells real good. I demand your Liam Neeson impression.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Liam Neeson. Listen, you need to stop the grandees, or else there's gonna be blood. Either let my bank account go now, or so help me, I will shit in my pants.
What's been the most successful infusion so far? The most successful infusion so far has been spiced orange. It was dried out orange slices with clove and cinnamon. It was basically the spices for a mulled wine. But I put Irish whiskey in it. I put Powers Irish whiskey in that solution. And it was quite good. I made an excellent old-fashioned with it. We're looking for a quote-unquote peaceful transition of power. Let's see. My heir. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arms. Should I die, I ask that my crown be passed down to... The council hall is filled with a nervous silence. I'm actually going to roll a d6 for this. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is boy. 3 and 4 is girl. 5 or 6 is non-binary. Where are all my d6s? Ah, I remember. I remember. They're in my dice tray, waiting for the next gateway to occur, even though there won't be one for 3 weeks. Lilac has spoken. My cousin and adopted daughter. The assembled nobles break out into a polite applause. By designating an heir, you've cemented the stability of the kingdom. Azul II. Wonderful, Your Holiness. I'm sure little Azul II will grow up to be a chip off the old block. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Anger from the church. Your Majesty, about that troublesome philosopher Ortega, I must protest that you allow her teachings to run unchecked. And her miracles are unorthodox at best. How can we allow what is effectively witchcraft to flourish in our ranks? Not to mention the fact that she keeps complaining about the supposed church riches and saying we should give them all away. So which are they? Miracles or witchcraft? I must express my displeasure with the utmost urgency. We wouldn't want the High Inquisitor to get involved. Don't extort me. You must make Ortega welcome. The Archbishop storms out in a huff. Later, he conducts a public ceremony to formally bless Ortega and her followers. While Ortega is impeccably polite, it's all too clear the Archbishop is furious. No one is convinced, and across the kingdom, peasants drift away from the church's rigid teachings. Your Highness, while scouting the east for a prime eclipse viewing spot, my servants discovered a portal. It's a shimmering shadow hanging in the air about the size of a door. We threw a rock in and it returned as a slab of polished obsidian. Is that good? How should I know? Naturally, I sent one of my servants through next. They saw a red wasteland beneath a sky whose color defied description. I recall a tale from my childhood of such a land, where fairy beings gave vast riches to those brave enough to visit. Riches, you say? This portal is on my land, so I have the rights to any riches it may contain. But I discovered it. Well, my servants did. Great treasure lies beyond it, I'm sure. Oh! I don't give a shit. Fucking whatever. Whatever. Just don't bother me. I don't care. Of course, the counts are avoiding B like the plague. But the other options are gaining traction. La 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 la. I'll give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, so close. The Grandees are delighted and start making preparations. Immediately, the kingdom awaits to hear what riches or horrors are within. Meanwhile, the complaints from the counts grow as the eclipse draws nearer.
That's the end of the season. Now it's time to start an auction. You could get a Grand Bazaar, a theater, a monument, a prison, a fortress, a library.
However, if you don't want the game to end, I would highly advise against the prison for the other factions. If the stability lowers even further, I think the Grandees might cinch it, so be careful where you put your money, everybody else. The patricians have surely held on to theirs as well. It looks like a theater. A theater. There's a theater. There's a good theater. Looks like the fortress is slowly getting traction. That's true. If the patricians want to rebel, they'll want to build up their military might as well. Lord knows they have the money to get that fortress. The question is, will they? A lot of money is going into that prison as well, trying to lower the stability of the kingdom. The patricians wield most of the wealth. What will it be? Stability goes down. Oh shit, let's check out my ambition. At the start of your reign, you said you want to be the architect of a new golden age. You've succeeded on that front. The kingdom has never been more prosperous. Well done, your majesty. But to shut down your noble scheming for good, we need to build on that reputation. Your advisors have some ideas. Have you heard of the Scepter of Sages? It's an ancient lost artifact forged by Queen Alma the Wise. There's a legend that the monarch who recovers it will rule over a golden age. My advice, on the other hand, would be to infiltrate each region with loyal spies, defeat their schemes with schemes of their own. But the Chancellor has other ideas. Stability in trade or faith in trade. Recover the Scepter of Sages. Whoa! We need to look out for the faith of the... If I go for stability in trade, it will... If I go for stability in trade, you'll have double reason to try and lower stability. So I'm gonna go for faith. A wise decision, Your Majesty. I'll begin sending out adventurers to track down the scepter's location. But adventurers aren't cheap. Your priority is to raise the kingdom's overall faith and trade as much as you can. And of course, there can't be an open rebellion amongst the nobles.
Plague ship?
The Royal Navy has stopped a ship on the harbor of Thalassus, Your Majesty. It's a merchant vessel from Danaea, and the crew have come down with some kind of plague. The captain refuses to go home, saying his crew need food and medical attention before they offload any cargo. The ship is carrying fine silks and rare dyes worth thousands. I don't care what happens to the crew. We need to secure those goods. And tell me more about this plague. The infected have high fevers, oozing pustules, uncontrollable vomiting, and sounds like creeping scourge, which bumped off half the kingdom a few centuries ago. I don't know.
I don't know.
Fuck it. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Just know that if the stability goes any lower, the Grandees will win, so the rest of the factions need to wake up a little. Alright, I'll give it 10, or no, I'll give it 5 more seconds, because it seems pretty definitive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! Quarantine the ship, but take the goods. Don't! Dyes and silks are carried into port, much to Lord Patrician Millennige's satisfaction. The crew are left to wait on their ship. Unfortunately, the silks have been infested with fleas that carry the infection. A week later, your marshal brings dire news. Your Majesty, signs of creeping scourge have been seen amongst the towns along the coast. You must shut down the roads and quarantine the worst affected areas. Oh! No! Thousands die, soldiers die, leaving the armies undermanned. Farmers die, leaving the crops to rot in the field. Fortunately, the plague is contained mostly to the coast. When the Navy finally board the quarantine ship months later, they find nothing but corpses. We gotta get that stability back up, or else the Grandees are gonna win, chat. Your esteemed Highness, as I'm as devout as anyone, but it's beyond ridiculous that for one day of every week, all the shops shut down and no work gets done. I know, it's the ninth god's holy day, but the day he rested after slaughtering the other gods like cattle. It must interrupt my trade. I'm leaving profit on the table. And need I remind you that the coast is the economic powerhouse keeping the kingdom afloat. We should receive special dispensation. You want to carry on working through the day of rest. Not me personally, just my employees. This is sacrilege, by the way. Huh? I assure you, High Inquisitor, I have nothing but utmost devotion to the Ninth, but I need to think about my profits. Ooh. No! Well, that seems pretty definitive to me. By the Ninth. Fine, I'll just go back to propping up this kingdom's economy, shall I? On the way back to his villa, Ashes 42 is mobbed by religious zealots held in makeshift stocks for a week and pelted with dung and rotting meat. The common folk find it hilarious, and the church donates triple overnight. Any rumors that the High Inquisitor was involved are totally unfounded.
Well,
Yep! Grandy's won. You struggle to keep your eyes open as you pore over letters late one night. The candle burns low. Just as you're about to get a nose full of ink, there's a soft knock at the door. Good evening, Your Majesty. I'm awake. I came for a chat. I'm concerned for your safety. I don't like it when you give me that look. Then you should listen carefully, Your Majesty. There are a number of rumors circulating about you at the moment. All preposterous, I'm sure. Naturally. But the common folk are easily swayed. Many think you're a monster, if not literally, then figuratively. Before you can answer, the Marshal bursts through the door, a panicked look on her face. No time, Spymaster. There's a mob forming outside. I think it's about to turn violent. A violent mob? How violent? Somewhere between angrily waving torches and pitchforks around and putting the monarch on a block and chopping their head off, I reckon. The Marshal leads you down winding staircases to a secret exit where your husband is waiting for you. Irvin nods curtly.
This is a tee-hee moment.
This is not a tee-hee moment. This is a Grandees always win moment. I can't believe the rest of the kingdoms let the Grandees trounce all over them like this, chat. Through the palace windows, a pack of city folks are pelting tomatoes at your beleaguered watch. This way, Your High Majesties. You're led down a dark tunnel, your honor guard following closely behind. You realize before long that your marshal is leading you through the catacombs that crisscross the underbelly of the city. When you emerge from the darkness, you're far from the palace to an old canal. Now what? Not to worry, Your Highness. We will meet with the army and crush this would-be revolt before it begins. Over there! It's the monarch! You pick up the pace, but a horde of peasants are soon chasing you down the streets, calling for your blood. As you round a corner, a familiar figure is waiting, flanked by a dozen inquisitors in blood-red hooded robes. Greetings, sinner! Well? I will run for my life. Before she has a chance to get closer, you sprint down a street. After them! A fight breaks out as the honor guard rush to defend you against the Inquisitors in a tidal wave of zealous peasants. You're so transfixed by what's going on that you don't see Grandy, Rock, or Hulan until you've run right into him. Steady, Your Highness. Where do you think you're going? Moonlight flashes on the dagger in his hand, then suddenly blood is flowing out of a deep wound in your side. You won't get rid of me that easily. The grandee is perfectly silent, but a smile crosses his lips as you collapse to the ground. You come to as the Inquisitors lift you off the cobblestones. Grandee Rockerhulan is nowhere to be seen. Moments later, you're being paraded through the town as peasants hurl rotten fruit and bricks from their windows. By the time you get to Arld Square, the crown has gathered and pyre erected. Shouts of heretic, monster, and sinner are tossed around like a pigskin ball. As you're hoisted onto the stake, you notice a crowd of grandees watching from the corner of the square. You can't help but marvel the irony of your own kinsfolk in the south will be the ones to bring you down, after fighting so hard to put you on the throne. You are hereby found guilty of high crimes against the Ninth God and his followers, including blasphemy, apostasy, profanity, and treason. Do you have any last words? The torch-bearing Inquisitors chant as they light the straw at the bottom of the pyre. I'm going to haunt you all! The crowd gasps, then hisses. Hopefully they'll be afraid of your imagined power when you're gone. A small solace. The flames grow higher, until you're engulfed. Your reign ends in ash. The fiery spectacle of the fate of Monarch Azul passes into legend, an enduring lesson to the power of the Ninth Church. The Count's attempts to replace the Monarch's advisors never panned out. One night, Count Harbinger Boland awoke to find a smiling spymaster holding a knife to his throat and asking him kindly to desist. The patricians' attempt to buy the kingdom ended in failure. Bankruptcies were filed, marks were scratched in secret ledgers, and the risk-reward calculus wasn't favorable. Perhaps next time. The Inquisition's bonfires blazed with every street of the kingdom, with heretics dissenting and voices disposed of. The grandees crowned Ignacio to rule over the ashes. The other nobles did not dare protest. Monarch Azul the Heretic. Well, chat, that's 2 wins for the grandees. Are you going to let that stand? Are you? Counts, patricians, this reign of terror must end. The Devil Dynasty will live on. Got about an hour left. Let's go ahead and begin another one. I can't believe you let the Irish person die on St. Patrick's Day, even. On every Irishman's birthday. Jacksepticeye will be furious. I'm going to grab yet another beer. So I will be right back.
Worship me, mortal.
Bro, the patricians. Why Liesel?
Crazy!
Thank you for the follow. Hang on, I'm cracking open another beer here. Whew! That is a stinky Guinness right there. Guinness. The beer of Ireland. The official beer of Ireland. Delishingless. All right. Counts. You're a little lacking in the numbers department. However, patricians, you've got quite the advantage here in the numbers. Let's begin again, shall we? Begin again in the night. Counselor deduction. The night has smiled upon us, and our plans have come to fruition. Verily, there is much to celebrate. Now remember your duty. You must ensure that the Grandee's interests are enforced throughout the kingdom. Ninth bless the South. Indeed, ninth bless us all. Now, introduce yourself to the rest of the council, but don't forget what I told you today. In honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Majesty, may you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. A pleasure, Your Esteemed Highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices. Meanwhile, what do you think? Will he be a good little king and do as he's told? Too early to tell. We should have a backup plan just in case. My path to victory. Your Majesty, the history books do not look kindly upon usurpers unless, of course, they prove themselves worthy to the throne they have stolen. When you die, how do you hope your kingdom will remember you? Why, as a saint. The church will love you, I suspect, but will anyone else? I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall faith as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. And now, Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from the Monarch Azul, but you must still answer to the council. As is tradition, they will decide what happens at your coronation. Should I get changed into my let's get this over with. Shall we call the nobles in? I'm not gonna fuck with this one, chat. You know what to do. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, Your Highness. Wade in the water. Well, I think that's pretty definitive. It is decided the king will throw into the river. And so let me get changed into my nice robes. Nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Treadwater River. You climb back at the banks. Chancellor prans a head on your head. Puts a head on your head, and he gives you head. And then he says, you're the head of the table. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was known proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false king Ignacio wears the crown. Do you want to lower stability, have the lowest defiance, or lower your own defiance. I don't see what the difference between possession and doppelganger is. But cool. Oh shit. There's still some time. Oh! It's tied up. Lowest defiance. I'm gonna give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A doppelganger. The Counts plan to swap the real king for a perfect doppelganger. First, they must gain the trust of the spy master. To advance their scheme, the Counts must be the region with the lowest defiance in 2 seasons. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of King Ignacio. Something must be done. Intimidation, raise others' defiance. Monopoly, raise own trade. Or corruption, lower authority. Let's see what you pick. 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 This seems pretty definitive. They're trying to raise their own trade. Which is good. They've got great trade right now. The patricians plan to privatize this entire damn kingdom. First, they must build up their industry. To advance their scheme, the patricians must raise their trade to 5 in 4 seasons. We may have thought that Ignacio was the rightful king, but we were wrong. The ninth god has shown me in a dream that I am destined to wear the crown. Do you want to have the highest faith? Raise your own farming or lower stability? Oh, the grandees are split. As apparently they usually are. Oh, it's a back and forth. This is getting good. I'm going to hit it as soon as it's done. Raise your own farming. Interesting. Grandee claimant Carmen has been chosen by the ninth god to be the next monarch. They have promised a miracle, food for all. To advance their scheme, the Grandees must raise their farming to 5 or more in 4 seasons. The Gem Queen, thank you for the follow. Well, Counts, you've got your work cut out for you. Everyone else's scheme is in the clear except for yours. Oh, shit. Debt collection? Greetings, Your Majesty. I am here on behalf of the Salvinton Gal to collect what we are owed. Monarch Azul owes you money, not me. That loan was guaranteed by your treasury. It technically doesn't matter who sits on the throne. You owe us a grand total of 3,750 gold. I can't pay. It does not pay to defy Salvant and Gal, Your Majesty. We will return to the public of Kurt and inform the Grand Pensionary that you are refusing to pay your debts. Well? Help. 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 Honor Guard. As a tradition, each of
This
the...
is a retro moment.
I've made my decision. I will go with the Southern Nuns. Your Holiness, a number of grandees have gone missing in the east. Oh, shit. They traveled to Count Justin Everyday Reyes' castle to negotiate a trade agreement. They should have returned weeks ago. The missing grandees never even made it to my lands. They most likely got lost. The east is a dangerous place. Just north of the... I like to live remotely. Grandees... Snowfall, Grandee Yarrow Shien, and Grandee Kione Ae. I'm certain this is some kind of ploy by Count Just an Everyday Reyes. In a few months, he'll quietly offer us a ransom. Seventh Takers, don't be so foolish. We'll find them. We just have to decide where to focus our efforts. No, this is stupid. Well, last time we searched Twilight Lakeland, we didn't find anybody there. Looks like Larion's Haunt is the definitive choice here. All right, I think that's more than enough. A detachment of Count Just an Everyday Reyes' bravest knights venture into the bedeviled marshland known as Alarion's Haunt. The missing grandees are found alive and well, if a little bedraggled. Ninth, bless you! We are in debt to you, God above. We've been eating bugs for a month. Please, take this as a thank you. It's an antique teapot from the Cursed Age. We found it in the bog, would you believe it? This is an artifact of the East. It should be returned to the Counts. Thank you, Your Grace. We appreciate the gesture. Woo! Good summer, everyone! Unlike Azul, King Ignacio did not abandon us. Alright, chat, you know what to do. If you want to vote for one of these things, type in exclamation fund and then the letter of the thing you want, and then how much money you want to spend on it. And, I helped you out a little bit, Counts, so why don't you use some of that vast wealth? I think the Thieves Guild would be quite beneficial. Don't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? Ten seconds left. The Thieves Guild and the Aqueduct are currently in the lead here. Well, the E and F. Oh! The patricians have taken the lot. A fishy wedding. We know where this is going, chat. Your Majesty, Archduke of Saul has invited us to his forthcoming wedding. Your attendance would help shore up relations between our two great nations. Depths below. Great nation? The Isle of Saul is nothing more than a nest of pirates and cutthroats. And I heard it wasn't a proper marriage anyway. The Archduke is marrying a fish. The groom is a finfolk, one of the denizens of the sea. Perfectly sapient and actually amphibious. Why, the church doesn't agree with a man marrying a fish. I legalized this. This is bullshit. I legalized this. What happened to my fish child? This is outrageous. Legalize it again. The church doesn't agree with a man marrying a fish. We mustn't legitimize this farce by allowing the king to attend. Well. Fight amongst yourselves! Of course the king should attend the wedding. Ah, I see you, chat. I see you, faithful, loyal to King Connor in the chat. That's pretty definitive in my eyes. Excellent. The wedding is scheduled for next year. I'll inform the Archduke that she'll be delighted to attend. This kingdom is sliding into madness. When it is announced that you will be attending the wedding, the patricians are naturally scandalized. But the peasants are as sentimental as ever. They are in favor of your decision. Public opinion again turns against the overly strict church. Trade war. Your Majesty, the Republic of Kurth has levied extreme trade sanctions against us for our perceived crimes against them. Notably, your inability to repay your loan from the Salvington Gall Bank. Pah! We don't need Kurth. They're our biggest trade partners by far, Your Majesty. Our economy is basically on fire now. So what can we do about it? That's for the council to decide. Kurth must also be suffering from this, but we can't afford to wait them out. Our people will soon run out of basic necessities. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Y'all, the patricians? I think they're getting a little wacky over here with their scheme. Need to have lower trade, don't they? Just saying. I am JSing. I am JSing, chat. Well, that seems pretty definitive to me. Even though half of you haven't voted. I'll give it 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How delightful, Your Highness. Let's show those Kurth bastards what we're made of sterner stuff. Though after another month of sanctions, your nobles changed their tune. By Zenya's ashes, we must give Kurth what they want. I'm bleeding money over here. Why should we suffer because of your grievances? At the very least, you take solace in the fact that Kurth is suffering too. The trade war continues with no end in sight. A spoos? I will look for a spoos. Your Majesty, it's important to find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference? Men? Women? Or do you mind?
Any.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out messengers to the most influential blah 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 blah.
It's an easy enough decision. You'll marry into the grandees as we agreed before you took the throne, right? Right?
Far in the east, Countess Y. Liesel is hosting another dinner party in their castle, with a few distinguished guests. Fate is not smiling upon us, friend. We've failed to win the Spymaster's trust, and she still watches us with an eagle eye. How goes the search for the look-alike?
Not well. I'm still looking.
The best I've found is a peasant with a wrong-shaped nose, wrong-colored eyes, and a wooden leg. Don't let that discourage you. Keep searching. Our doppelganger is out there, I'm sure of it. The Count's aim is to be the region with the lowest defiance. I'll help you out, Counts. I'll help you out a little bit. In return, you gotta work with me here. Eligible options. I have found.
You worship me.
Why, Liesel? Thank you for the sub. Please enjoy your emotes and the ad-free experience. I really ought to make more emotes, I realize. I've got slots for them, I think. Yummy. Guinness. I found three potential matches for you. One eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. Yes, I know. The Chancellor leads you to the Great Hall, where they've arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth. Alright, let's see these candidates. This is Marcella, the eldest daughter of the the Gem Queen dynasty. Apparently, they had a hell of a time getting her to smile for this portrait. She had a laboratory installed in her castle and spends most of her time there, conducting bizarre experiments. She went missing a while ago, but it turned out she'd accidentally locked herself in her cellar, survived on wine for a week. I don't see what all the fuss is about, personally. From the coast, we have Basil, the wealthy heir to the Lord Patrician Hellnaw's estate. He spends most of his time in solitude of his villa, so I know little about him. I like the sound of. And finally, from the south, Balthazar, the eldest son of Tiki the Troll lineage. He's reputed to have an ego the size of the sun, but there's nothing wrong with confidence, right? Like many in the south, he claims to put his faith in the 9th god above all worldly concerns. He's tied to his hand in a number of ventures, though they all seem to end in disaster. Not bad at all. What do you think? Of course, by picking the candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance.
I've made my decision.
Basil of the coast. That's right. That's right. You are not smoking weed. What I've given you is actually basil. You will now die of basil poisoning. That cinnamon was actually basil. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Clyde! I have marbles! Marbles! Watch out! There's a wooden stick figure right there!
What? Wait, I gotta get like Matrix animation. Whoa.
This was posted in 2003.
I will die by chainsaw!
Oh no, it's a very big monster.
A big monster?
A big monster.
Let's let the Japanese take care of it. What's that?
Hang on, what is it? Forehead shave cuts? Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Jeez.
You want some cinnamon before you go?
Hang on. Shut up.
And I'll just move. Jeez.
You want some cinnamon before you go? Haha, I have told you the cinnamon was actually basil.
Oh my god.
You will now die from basil poisoning.
Courtney.
I don't know why, but it always stuck with me. Would you like some cinnamon before you go? That fooled you. That cinnamon was actually basil. You will now die of basil poisoning. It's called... What was it called? It was called Forehead Shave Cut. An old flash animation from 2003. And I don't know why, but that line always stuck with me. Where he just snorts a line of cinnamon and he just starts freaking out. Fool! That was actually cinnamon! That wasn't cinnamon, it was actually basil! You will now die of basil poisoning.
Sanctions?
Bad news, Your Majesty. The Republic of Kurth has not only expanded our sanctions, but has also cut us off from other trading partners across the Ghost Sea and beyond. We've been embargoed! Only the Isle of Sol still trades with us, but their economy is even smaller than the East's. Oh shit. Fuck this! Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Let's launch over it. Do we deepen our ties to Sol or become fully self-sufficient? It looks like we're becoming self-sufficient. We're expanding. We're beginning to believe, chat. All right. Once this number hits 27, yep, there we go. It officially passed the point of return. You order the kingdom to stop relying on foreign goods. Though it makes you look tough, your people grow angry at the sudden lack of basic and luxury goods. Food shortages become common once the Ashmodean Empire stops trading grain, and nobles have to sell off pieces of land to wealthy foreigners. The economy doesn't change overnight without a severe hangover. Well, that's fine. No one's dying. Your Serene Highness, your esteemed Highness, something most strange has occurred in the Ghost Sea. A new island has risen, halfway between our shores and the Isle of Sol. The Finfolk raised it from the depths using their weird ocean magic. It's true, your majesty. The Finfolk raised the island to celebrate the marriage of their prince to the Archduke of Sol. They will gift it to him on the day of his ceremony. This is terrible news. That island is of immense strategic importance. We can't let it fall into Salish hands. You're going to make me seduce the fish man again, aren't you? I don't know. I'm just going to close my eyes and I'll see what happens. When that bell rings, I'm sure I'm not going to be forced to fuck a fish for the second time.
Oh.
All right. Let's see what we've won. I always knew I liked you, chat.
Capital idea. What? No way!
Well, you're unattached, and you'd make a far better match for the Finfolk prince than this Archduke of some rainy island.
Sorry, but I'm not comfortable with this.
Fair enough, your personal affairs are beyond the Council's control. We'll just send you to negotiate with the Finfolk in secret before the wedding takes place.
I don't care what you offer them, just get that island.
Preparations begin for your clandestine visit to one of the Finfolk's undersea villages. Your Chancellor has heard of magic reeds that allow the bearer to breathe underwater, but such a thing will take weeks to track down. At least that gives you time to prepare for your underwater visit. It's time to adopt the stability. Let's see. Sanction evasion. Your Majesty, we've caught one of your nobles evading our sanctions against Kurth. Count Just an Everyday Reyes was smuggling Kurth gin into the kingdom. I had no choice to capitalize desperate trade region ... exclamation. This pointless trade war has ruined the East, no, the whole damn kingdom. I won't pretend I wasn't smuggling, but rest assured... rest assured, I'm not the only one. Even if you get rid of me, others will take my place. Our situation is desperate. Start hanging smugglers, starting with Count Just an Everyday Reyes. Hire customs agents to tighten security. You know, Counts. You want to have the lowest defiance, don't you? Oh my goodness, the look the other way is slowly gaining traction. All right, if this gets to 26, I'll stop the vote. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep it going for. Oh, is it majority? Yeah, I think it is actually. With I doubt it's happening. All the people who aren't voting need to start voting. Well, there you go. Your Majesty, you've shown me kindness I did not expect. Of course, the kingdom doesn't go down so well with the nobles who had been following the rules. Meanwhile, word of the crown's reluctance to punish smugglers gives rise to copycats across the kingdom. After a while, everyone and their dogs are smuggling something, and your sanctions against Kurth are mostly for show. The Finn folks send a stagecoach made from a giant clam pulled out by seahorses. You equip your magic breathing reed and hop in. The clam carriage plunges back beneath the waves and you are whisked down to the murky depths. A few hours later you arrive in an undersea citadel of kelp and woven huts. The prince meets you at a grand table formed of knotted coral. Tiny Finfolk spawnlings swim around your legs as you sit.
Greetings, Your Majesty. We are honored to have such a prestigious visitor.
Let's get down to business.
Of course, we must be swift. I know these magic reeds only provide a certain amount of air.
The Chancellor didn't mention anything like that. You try not to let your panic show.
You're here to discuss my betrothal to Archduke Shomo and the island I'm giving him as a dowry.
May I ask, why do you have to give him a dowry?
Well, it's a very small island. The Archduke assured me that it wasn't worth very much. After all, your surface folk have so much more land already.
May I offer these pearls as tribute?
Thank you, most generous.
You worship me, mortal.
Actually, the island is worth a huge amount to us.
Oh, really? How interesting. The Archduke told me differently.
Please, just trust me. Why would I lie?
I'm sorry, but why should I trust you over my own betrothed? I barely know you. You've given me much to think about, but I must go with my heart, and my heart tells me I can trust the Archduke, which means this is goodbye.
Oh, well, that went over more poorly than last time. Your clam coach spirits you back to the surface, and you main onto the beach. You gasp for breath. Air never tasted so good. Most unfortunate, Your Majesty. The wedding will go ahead after it all. At least you tried. Well, shit. It didn't even give me an option. The royal wedding. Your wedding to Basil is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Will I die of basil poisoning? Who knows? Wedding to Basil is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. Feels like everyone will not take part as soon as you're not. Then I pronounce you king and husband. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, there's a dance. Your new husband Basil turns a bright red every time a toast is called in his honor. By the time you find yourself alone with Basil, it's past midnight, and you've never felt more tired. Hello?
Hello. Nice weather for it. Wedding, I mean. You both lapse into strange silence as Basil gulps back his wine. So tell me about yourself. Not much to tell, really. I like to make money, wherever I can. Money talks, even if I don't. He lapses into silence again. All attempts to get him to talk more are fruitless. Eventually, he makes his excuses and heads to his spare bedchamber. Fuck! Ah, I see. Without defaulting to a pronoun also works, defaulting to they. Yes, thank you for the hint. You said you had a surprise for me. Indeed, here it is. Behold. Your Grace! What are you doing here at such an hour? I'm sorry, I hoped you didn't overhear any... Ha ha ha! Quit your babbling, you blowhard. This isn't the king. It's a peasant who's the king's spitting image. Blood and stars, and just in time. The spy master trusts us. We can move on to the next phase, kidnapping the king and putting his fool in his place. And how do we manage that? We need the kingdom in utter chaos, bad enough that the king's abduction can slip past unnoticed. For the next stage of their scheme, the Count must lower stability to 4 or less in 4 seasons. In a dingy seaside tavern, 2 patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. Our profit projections are completely flat. No growth this quarter. It's a tough time to be a small business owner. Small business owner? Don't you own 20 mills and a dozen workshops? My point is the coastal economy is suffering, and that's bad for our plans. The patricians need to raise their trade to at least 5. The prophesized Ninth Herald has finally manifested on Celeste Ath, making the form of a humble noble known as Carmen, who hails from a farming town in the southern hills. Or so the grandees claim. Haha, peasants all over the south are flocking to you, Carmen. I knew you could do it. Praise be to the Ninth God. Praise be, but this is just the beginning. With him on our side, we will capture the minds of the common folk and lead to a holy crusade against the false king.
Worship me, mortal.
The people still need a push, however. With just the right amount of chaos, the peasants will take up arms and die for you. For the next stage of their scheme, the grandees must lower stability to 4 or less in 2 seasons. Oh, shit! An island wedding? Your esteemed highness, in a few days you'll be traveling to the Archduke of Saul's controversial wedding. Surely there's a way we could turn this to our advantage. We must forge an alliance with Saul. They have fast ships, and with this new island outpost control over the most of the Ghost Sea. Or you could publicly object to this blasphemous union of man and fish. Capital idea. The Ninth will reward you for your zeal. This is a matter for the council, I believe. You know what, chat? This looks like a perfect opportunity for a call for unity. And here it goes. I'll go ahead and give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Voting has closed. Well, the council has spoken. Good luck, Your Serene Highness. Soon the time has come. You board a ship and sail to the newly risen island where the Archduke of Saul is to marry his Finfolk groom. Naturally, Basil is accompanying you. Oh dear, I hope we don't have to make too much small talk. You handle the conversation, dear. At last, the new island crests over the horizon. It's an empty little rock devoid of vegetation, with no buildings except for a marquee and a hastily constructed church of the Ninth. But it's packed with people, mostly minor nobles of Saul, who welcome you with cheers and bows. You file into the church. As the ceremony begins, the Finfolk prince walks down the aisle with Archduke of Saul waits with clasped hands. Does anyone here know of any lawful impediment of these two being joined in marriage? I object. The wedding goers erupt in protest. You shout at the illegitimate union of man and fish while you're bundled out of the wedding, your husband following at a distance looking embarrassed. When you arrive back at the capital, the council is pleased you followed their advice and the High Inquisitor has never been in higher spirits. This just goes to show that we are a holy nation, unlike those heathens in Saul. Oh shit. The new island proves to be immensely beneficial for Salish trade. They expand their operations, out-competing your own merchants at every turn. It's also a key military outpost. The islanders of Saul become known as undisputed masters of the ocean, while the patricians can only seethe and cope, and mauled. Plus L, plus ratio. Unfortunately, you get the feeling that the Archduke isn't likely to let your disruption of his wedding go unanswered. Yeah, well, he can deal. All I'm saying is every grandee claims to have a saint in her ancestry. Your great-great-grandfather was probably a common dullard. Shut your mouth, you hedge-born puzzlewit. His name was Saint Umber, and he defeated the werewolf of Aranjar by turning it into dust in an instant, according to my grandmother. If you're so sure, how about a little wager? A bag of gold says your ancestor was no saint. You're on! Please don't break out into a duel. Count the Broken King is spreading damnable lies about my great-grandfather. My great-great-grandfather, even. If you think he was a saint, then dig him up. Saints are incorruptible even after death. They don't decay. Very well. I request the council's permission to exhume my ancestor and prove this fool wrong.
Yeah.
Let's go! Why are the grandees voting for the B option? I'm very curious why they wouldn't want... I'm very curious why the grandees are voting for B. All right, I'll give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dead people should stay on their ground. I guess the Grandees didn't want their faith tested. Good job, Grandees. Egad, if you could just give me a chance, I'd prove you all wrong. Your Majesty, the printing press has ushered in an age of lively intellectual debates and revolutionary philosophy. That's great to hear. No, it's not, Your Majesty. Most of the new thinkers are calling for an end to the monarchy. One in particular, someone called Clarissa Agony, has written an influential pamphlet about the rights of the commoner. He argues that peasants deserve minimum wages, voting rights, basic sanitation. By the blood of the dead! We have to do something about her. My peasants have started asking me to pay for their medicine. Well, now's your time to shine, chat. Of course, the counts and the grandees are working hard to lower my stability. And the grandees have, the patricians have fallen asleep, it seems. I'll give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Glad to see you're dealing with this matter appropriately. You arrest Clarissa Agony, but a dozen more anti-monarchist writers spring up to take her place. The peasants explode into riots across the kingdom. It seems the commoners won't easily forget their lack of rights. And now's the time to start an auction. If you don't know how it works, press !fund, and then the letter of the thing that you want, and then how much of your personal funds that you want to put forth towards it. I'm going to grab another beer, and I'll be right back. Military and farming. I see. Rebellion report. About my heir. Your marriage to Basil's now what you hope. Da, da, da. Charlie, Charlie. Congratulations on order the wedding. Yeah. Something heir. Need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick. Even if they're a bastard or the youngest of your many cousins. Fuck it. I plan to adopt a low-born child from the orphanage. The nobles won't be too happy with a low-born child being elevated to the status of a royal. I urge you to reconsider. You're right. Let me read this. My youngest cousin. Fuck it. We got people who are wanting to rebel. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Your Majesty, I assume you are familiar with the Grandee's latest puppet, the so-called Ninth Herald?
Carmen? They're a fraud.
Quite so. If the Grandees are pushing Carmen as their claimant to your throne, to be put there by force if necessary. Unfortunately, the kingdom's going through a rough period. You'll need to stabilize as quickly as possible. I shall put forth a call for unity. Looks like we got some counts that are going for B. Pretty much all of the grandees are going for C. Some of the patricians are going for A. There's still some time to swing this. I'll give you to a count of 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess the patricians just don't care about winning. Due to competition, incompetence, or pure malice, the council has declined to take action. You're on your own for now. Isn't that just the usual suspect? The grave robber. Your Majesty, Grandee Kione stands accused of desecrating holy ground.
Doesn't sound like her.
She broke into the necropolis in the dead of night. One of the grave robbers caught her fighting off ghouls in her family mausoleum. I was trying to dig up my great-great-grandfather so I could prove he was a saint.
Ugh. This is bullshit. It looks like the Grandies have all voted for A. Mostly voted for A. We got one dissenter here. It is a tight race here. I'm not sure what the patricians stand to gain by raising defiance, but I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Demand that Grandi Keone AE go on a pilgrimage as penance. But by all that is holy, I was just defending my family honor. Council has spoken, Grandi Keone AE. You are to go on a pilgrimage across the desert barefoot, with nothing but a mule to keep you company. Return with contrition in your heart. Now go in peace. Well, that went well, don't you think, Counts? The south swells with devotees from across the kingdom. They've come to see Carmen, the Knights Herald, in action. Some even take to the fields in service of their would-be monarch, filling the southern storehouses. In the picturesque town of Calaville, the Grandee's holy claimant delivers a speech to the raucous applause. Two figures stand in an alcove nearby. If our army was strong enough, we could take the palace by force. A crusade? It sounds promising, though I suggest we leave it up to the ninth god. Surely he will intervene on Carmen's behalf. Well, I'm fucked either way. Chat! Fools that you are letting the Grandees win again! The patricians are sleeping, and the counts are conspiring against me. As the vote is called for, cheers erupt in the cramped halls of the Grandee Brother Costel's villa. For the ninth god! Death to the pretender! Death to King Ignazio! For the final stage of their scheme, the Grandees must keep their military at 10 for one full season. The patricians have simply given up. Someone said the patricians have no money. Hello? What's this? I don't give a shit. The patricians, they're trying to rebel, but not enough of them are awake to even try for it. Of course, they're all rebelling now. Your Majesty, the people are demanding a republic. Thousands are marching through the capital, waving banners and signs. It's peaceful for now. The population are fed up with the very concept of monarchy. If we don't act soon, they'll storm the palace and drag you out by your neck. Perhaps we could throw them a bone. Maybe write a few
amendments to the Constitution, taking power from the crown and giving more power to us nobles. Oh, I can't just abolish the fucking... I can't just abolish the monarchy. Because I guess that's no fun. Alright. Pick, fuckers. And look what you've done, Counts. Alright, it's close. I'll give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're forcibly suppressing protests, everybody. The soldiers charge through the streets, knocking down agitators and dragging them off to the dungeons. Your troops are disciplined enough to be violent, but not outrageously violent. No deaths are reported. The common folk continue to grumble and occasionally rise up in protest, but the dangerous moment has passed. Your grip on the throne is secure for now. Your Serene Highness, it's terrible. Pirates have been going after all our merchant vessels. I'm nearly bankrupt. Typical Salish tactics, Your Majesty. The Archduke was infuriated by your response to his wedding. He's getting revenge the only way he knows how. Piracy. Unfortunately, that's only speculation. We have no concrete evidence that those were Salish ships. I don't fucking know. All I know is I'm gonna call for unity.
Devilish.
Who's a monkey? Thank you for the 5 bits. Nothing happened to the Imperial Square. Well, why don't you ask the kids at Tiananmen Square? The Counts just want me to fail. That's what's happening here. The Counts just want me to fail. They don't want to win. They want me to fail. The Counts are firmly in the Chaos Division right now. They've lost sight of the end goal, and now their aim is purely to fuck with me. Send the Royal Navy to patrol the Ghost Sea and protect shipping routes. Surely this couldn't go wrong. Oh no! Your ships are now too slow to catch the swift Salish pirates who run rings around them. The attacks on merchants grow worse and worse. The patricians, once again, are asleep. They're just not here anymore. The patricians have all left. Even though they pretty much outnumber everyone else. By the 9th, I'll never financially recover. I thought this was a big glob of cum for some reason. Just a splatter right here. Your Holiness, I was ambushed while on my pilgrimage. They took everything from me. My horses, my wine, even my boots. I demand the Council's permission to take soldiers and hunt down the bandits who stole my stuff.
This is a rut-row moment.
Hang on. My instructions were most clear. Your pilgrimage should have been undertaken barefoot, with a single mule for company. Certainly no horses and no wine. Well, nevertheless, I have a right to reclaim my stolen possessions. Bruh, 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 bruh.
It looks like B is the popular choice here, but A is slowly gaining traction. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What? Start over from the beginning, but...
You heard the council. Get moving. Next time I see you, I expect to see blisters.
Grandee Keone AE staggers out of the council hall looking utterly miserable. A long walk through the desert awaits her. The other grandees begin praying extra hard that such a fate doesn't befall them. Alright, well, since the patricians just aren't voting anymore, I'm just gonna vote for a stop the count. And the patricians are rebelling. Not that it matters. The grandees have won again! Your Majesty, that upstart Carmen has declared an open revolt against your rule. Sternly worded letter open revolt or an open revolt? It's serious, Your Majesty. They've declared themselves the Knights Herald and are rallying an honest to God-fearing folk to their side. The grandees have pledged their full might to Carmen's cause. We must act swiftly or all will be lost. Assemble the council! The council convenes for an emergency session. Only a few grandees bother to attend, each looking more confident than the last. It's simple. The ninth god has chosen our true ruler, and it isn't you. Well, my stability is 0 anyway, so I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just gonna drink this beer. I see the patricians really have fallen asleep. Or wait, they're not allowed to vote in these matters if they're rebelling. Never mind.
The sleepy patricians, they've fallen asleep again.
Hang the attendant grandees the warning. But you cannot do this! The marshal has the exit sealed and drags Grandee, harmless NPC, kicking and screaming to the gallows. Any grandees still in attendance in the city are rounded up by day's end and hanged, their bodies thrown over the battlements as a warning to the approaching southern army. Not that it matters. You assemble a token force to fight the incoming army, but barely anyone responds to your call. More than a few generals defect. Most of the peasant militias refuse to mobilize against the Ninth Chosen. With your only remaining loyalist accounts occupied by coastal forces, there's nothing to stop the Grandees now. Your Majesty, we cannot contain the situation any longer. The Grandees are at our gates. We have no loyal troops to spare. I've exhausted my options in the south as well. My informants have either defected or been killed. Can we escape in time? Perhaps. You just pack your things and fetch your husband. We'll leave by nightfall. You find Basil waiting for you in your chambers, a grim look on his face. You explain the situation as you throw essentials into a small travel chest. But as soon as your back is turned, a dagger is plunged into it. I never should have trusted you. The dagger is pulled free just as violently. You collapse in pain with Basil standing over you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They made me do it. The last thing you see is the knife, held level in front of your eyes, sticky red glinting in the candlelight. It's a Grandee win again, chat. A glorious day for the Grandees. I suppose the Counts couldn't stop fighting against me to expand upon their own fortunes, to expand upon their own needs, and the patricians. The patricians were basically a non-entity in this entire campaign. So the Grandees win it once again. Betrayed by his own husband, King Ignacio bled slowly to death, wondering where it all went wrong. All that remained of the Count's attempt to usurp the crown was a prisoner, deep under the castle, clad in an iron mask and shrouded in rumor. The patricians, held by Hastizak, launched a rebellion that accomplished nothing besides distracting the king while cunning schemers took the throne. Carmen's ascension to the throne was greeted with joy by the peace folk, who earnestly believed they were chosen by the Ninth. The true believers among the Grandees were equally ecstatic, though a select few wondered what would happen to their monarch, who believed themselves chosen by God. King Ignacio the Strong ruled for exactly 2 years. And there you have it, chat. The Grandees are 3-0. And you know what I say to that? Good game. What kingdom? What kingdom? Do you see a kingdom? I don't. The Grandees won? Won what? What did they win? Do you see it? Because, Because I don't think I do. Wow, this game looks so neat. I can't wait for us to go into it blind. The queen was chosen by God?
No, I fucking didn't. God may have chosen you, Carmen, but I'm the devil, and this is my stream.
So next time we play this, chat, we'll crack into this for the very first time, and we'll see what the Twitch decides to do. Will the grannies be there? Nope. Why would they be? I don't remember there being such a faction, actually. Well, with that... Yeah, it's a shame there's no yellow faction. Ooh, yeah, shame. Shame to hear that. Yeah, the Grandies got patched out of the game, unfortunately. That's super weird. You were kings in yellow? Well, what is a king to a god? Tiki. So let's go ahead and see where we want to go. You know what? Greg How to Drink is the... playing some Star Citizen. Our raid message... Our raid message will be... The old king is dead. What time, Connor? What time, chat? What time? What time? Next time.
Time, Kay? Next time.
Take care, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for the Digimon tournament that I'm going to be streaming my my perspective from. There will be no gateway tomorrow. Just letting you know. Take care, everybody. I'll see you next time.